Motherboards get very hot. There's a lot of electricity running through them. The CPU is constantly processing information, sending information to other parts of the computer, and computers do not like heat or extreme temperature changes, extreme dramatic temperature changes. So we want to keep computers as cool as possible. That's why we have fans in them. That's why when we're doing a lot on a computer, we may notice that our computer may get very loud with fans, and of course, if anyone who's ever had a laptop on their lap can testify, they can get very hot. We have several fans inside computers. In this computer in particular, we have our main fan here. Now what this fan does is it draws cool air from the front of our computer, sucks it into the fan, blows it across our connections, and pushes our air out of the back of our computer. That's why we want to make sure that computers do not have anything blocking these ports that would keep the heat inside of them. Computers' enemies are dust and heat. We also have moisture and humidity in there, but the two enemies for overheating are going to be dust and heat. We want to keep the inside of computers clean, and we want to keep them free of obstructions so that the fans can do their job and circulate that air in there. If you have, say, a computer that's continually turning off and saying it's overheating, it may be wise to actually open that computer and check it out and make sure it's clean on the inside, and also to make sure that the fans are running. If that is all correct, another thing that we can do to check for overheating is the thermal paste that's on a CPU. This fan here actually sits on top of the computer heating. Our tower here takes heat from, this is a chipset, but motherboards have similar heating convectors, but they can be a lot larger. And that sits directly on top of our CPU. So our CPU convects heat up to that, and then the fan blows the heat out of here. Now, it can't just be metal on metal. We actually have a special paste called a thermal paste, which goes on top of our CPU and provides better convection. If that thermal paste is dried up and completely been scratched off, or we don't have enough on there, that may also cause overheating issues. So it may require some gentle surgery to remove that heating array and actually put some more thermal paste on there in order to get better cooling through there. So we have big fans that blow through our computer. We have fans that sit directly on top of our CPU, and we also have graphics cards with fans on them. Some may just have a small heating plate or cooling plate, but some actually go as far as having fans on them. Some may have small fans, some may even have some pretty large fans. It all depends on the capabilities of the card and how much it heats up, how much it's doing. If you have a graphics card that's processing a lot more information and rendering extreme 3D graphics, you're going to need more cooling on that than you would just a standard VGA or DVI card. Now these fans come in several different types of connectors. You may have Molex type connector on the end of your power supply, or on the end of your fan cable that plugs into the power supply. You may have a 4-pin connector like we showed a little bit earlier on the motherboard that comes in like a square. Or you may even have a 4 or 3-pin fan connector, which is a very small connector which may plug either into the motherboard or just into the actual graphics card itself. So always remember that we want to keep air circulating through our computer, we want to keep it free of dust, and we want to keep that thermal paste good. And if we do all that, then we'll have a cool motherboard, a cool computer, and we won't have overheating issues.